Awesome sauce. Good morning, and welcome to Swahili Sunday. Wow, that came up quite quick, pretty fast today. Last night I was like, oh wait, tomorrow's Sunday. Yesterday I took some time to have some chill time because really I have been going and going and going, and I've been very worn out. I did an event on the 15th on Friday and at Calvary Chapel Anaheim for a women's night out, and had some good sales. But the whole setup teardown thing takes a long time. And my goal for going into 2022 is more sales online, more sales in retail locations, wholesale, and less to no pop-ups. I run around doing all these pop-ups is driving me a little bit crazy. I'm doing it right now because I have to in order to get things out there until we actually get back to a place of sustainability. That's a big issue with everybody coming out of COVID. We had a lot of wholesale customers before COVID, and we were working on building up our wholesale customers, and I was doing full-time speaking before COVID. And of course, COVID really caused that all to fall off. Not only did the speaking completely stop, I did have a few online trainings, but it wasn't the same as being in person, because when I speak in person, I'm able to sell product usually, unless it's somebody bringing me in for a private training. That's a different thing. But if I'm out doing a public type of speaking engagement, then I would be able to tell the story of the ladies and sell some beads. And I always took paper beads. Actually, I'm wearing a long paper bead necklace today that is tripled up. You can double it, you can triple it. This one makes it kind of just lay right here. You can actually even tie a knot in it if you wanted to. And of course, I have a paper bead bracelet. They're very versatile and go with a lot of things. So anyway, I squirreled off of that. But before COVID, I had a lot of speaking engagements, and we were starting the Shopify store and starting to work on getting online sales. And then of course, I had some wholesale customers, and most of the wholesale customers I had were small boutique type shops. Maybe they were a shop that had some things, or maybe they were a shop that just had like a wellness center that had some beads in there. I had a few of those, and several of those went out of business when COVID hit, and the rest obviously closed. I was in 3 retail locations. I had space in Fair Trade Long Beach, which I still have a space there. I had space in Open Market OC. And then I had tested another space that after 3 months, I was really underwater. So I pulled out of that. That was a bad decision because the products did not sell in that location. I thought it was going to be a good possibility. It was in a good location down in San Diego, which that was a problem because I had to keep going down there. But the rent was really high, and our sales weren't even, I don't know. I don't even think we made 10% of the rent. So I had to pull out of there as well. So COVID caused a problem with all of those things. And I'm working on building the online presence. And as most of you know, during the whole pandemic, we have been raising funds to make sure that the ladies don't have to go back to doing the things that they were doing, like selling illegal alcohol, picking food scraps from the dumpster, or prostituting themselves. So, hey, Cindy, thanks for joining. So we have been raising funds, and we're continuing to raise funds. And unfortunately, the donations have dropped off. And I don't know if it's because people are spending money other places, or they're not focusing on this, or they don't have the money or whatever. But if you could have it within your heart to do some type of a donation to basketsandbeadskenya.org, we don't have enough funds to provide food packs for them. And then we also have 2 street kids we're taking care of that we lost our sponsors for. So that's about $1,200 a month I am working on raising. And I think right now I have 300. So if it's put upon your heart to donate any amount, I would appreciate that, because we are not out of the woods yet. I have just placed another order, but we're not to a sustainable point where they don't need the food packs. Like I've said, every time I talk about this, there is no government help for food. There's no food pantries. There's no place for them to go get any food stamps or anything like that. So what the ladies were doing was going to the dumpster and picking food scraps, or prostituting themselves, or selling illegal alcohol. I mean, if I had to do that to feed my family and I had no other choice, I would definitely do any and all things necessary to make sure my kids didn't starve. So we are still doing this. Hopefully by the beginning of next year, we'll be able to taper off, but we do need some support for that. So any support would be appreciated. If you're interested in a paper bead necklace, this is the kind of staple of baskets and beads. It's one of the things we started with, was this necklace and these bracelets made out of magazines. You can see how colorful they are and how nice they kind of go. Well, they go with my hair really good. I like the way they go with my hair, and they pop on black. They can pick up any color that you're wearing. You can find those at basketsandbeadskenya.com, of course. And if you are not already on the mailing list, there's a pop-up there for 10% off, so you can get 10% off your purchase. All right, let's talk about this competition I'm in. And the Swahili word of the day is Mashindano, which means competition. Mashindano. And I am so grateful that I was selected for a competition. It's I'm going to share my screen and share the blurb, or this is in the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center page. So you could go like that page. There is a place, actually it's in the description for today's Swahili Sunday, of where to go to register. There's myself and 7 other women veterans. It's for women veterans only. And most of these, I think I mentioned this in a post that I wrote, a lot of times I see the opportunity to do a pitch competition, and I don't select to be part of that, because most of the time they want you to apply and put in all your information, and then you have to go get votes. And the top 3 vote getters are the ones who will get selected to pitch. Well, I don't have time to chase a bunch of people to have them go vote. I attempted to do that for a veterans award type of thing, and a lot of people voted, but it didn't work. And I spent a whole lot of my time attempting to get people to vote, and that's not a good use of my time. So I don't enter very many pitch competitions. As a matter of fact, I haven't entered any, because most of them that I've seen are like that, where you have to get people to vote for you in order to be considered, and the top 3 vote getters will get it. Well, if somebody else has a big following, or they have somebody managing their social media and can get a lot of those clicks, me and my little, okay, I'm going to put a thing out there and ask people to go and click and vote, is not going to do as well as a lot of people. So like I said, it's not a good use of my time. However, I saw this, somebody had posted about this on Instagram, and I went to the site, and it was, you could apply and they would interview you. And I thought, oh, okay, I apply for a lot of things in case something might come up. I have no expectations about anything. I pray about it and I go forward with it. So I did that with this, and I put in my information, and they had a place for me to schedule for an interview. So I scheduled for an interview, and they interviewed me and selected me as one of 8 women veterans to pitch my business on Wednesday, the 20th, this October 20th at noon Central Time. Now there's a place to register for it, and it does say on the little blurb about this that there's an audience vote. There is an audience vote, but you have to be registered, and I think it's $20 to be part of that. Or you can watch it on this page on Facebook Live. They're going to be streaming it live. But that's not how the funds are going to be awarded. The panel of judges are going to vote and decide who to award the funds to. And this would be an awesome opportunity to help propel the business forward. I have plans on what I would do with the funds, which I have several things that I need to do to get it into profit. And I have right here, I've scripted it out per slide, what my story is going to be. And I've been spending the weekend going through it to make sure that I So I'm talking to you now like me, like Eldana. But when you have having a scripted thing, I have to practice it a lot to get the unscripted sounding thing out of it. So instead of saying, "Hi, I'm Eldana, I'm a military veteran," and blah, 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 I have to work to make sure that I know it's scripted, but it has to be natural coming from me. So that's what I'm doing. I was doing it a little yesterday, but I spent most of yesterday resting. I made an agreement with myself to do pretty much nothing, and I pretty much did nothing. I went to the dog beach yesterday morning and watched little Indigo go run around. It was her first time to the dog beach in Huntington Beach. If you're not local to Southern California, we have a dog beach in Huntington Beach, and it was closed because of the oil spill, but there was no oil affecting that area. Excuse me. And so it opened back up, and I was able to take her for the first time yesterday. And that gives me a lot of joy watching her run around. I stuck my feet in the water and talked. One of my friends came down, saw another person I know from the dog park. And then I came home, and actually Indigo had to have a bath because she was covered in sand. She got in the water. And if you look down on my profile, the Eldana Lewis Fernandez profile page, you'll see the video of her running around. And I had to give her a bath to get all that sand out of her. And then I took a shower, and then I pretty much vegged watching videos and had a little prayer time, but I didn't do a whole lot until yesterday evening when I got up and started working on the script. And today I'm working on the script. Tomorrow I'm working on the script. Tuesday I'm working on the script. It's actually a 6-minute pitch, and I will have the opportunity. I don't know what my speaking order is. I'm not concerned so much about that, but I'll stop sharing. By the way, here is the page, Veteran Women's Enterprise Center. Like the page, and you can, like I said, go and watch here, or you can register and be part of the Zoom audience. If you're part of the Zoom audience, you have the opportunity to vote for the Audience Choice Award. So there is an Audience Choice Award as well. And would love your support, and would love your comments and whatever on this particular post. I'll be sharing this throughout the week as well, getting people prepped for it. But the interesting thing for that, let me talk about that interesting thing. Most of you know I'm working a corporate job. I have to balance a corporate job right now because COVID really negatively impacted both the beads and my speaking business. And I wanted to make sure the business expenses were covered. I'm focusing primarily on baskets and beads. I still do speaking. I actually have a training contract, and I have with Southern California Edison. I had that contract for several years. It expired. They went back out to bid, and I was awarded 2 sessions. So I still do speaking, but I'm not actively marketing it because you can't split your energy so many different ways. Already splitting my energy 2 ways is making me kind of tired. And I'm grateful that I have a dog because I'm walking about 3 miles a day, and it's really helping my fitness level to force me to go for walks all throughout the day. But I'm having to balance that, and it's tough because I started working. I went in as a subcontract specialist just to buy a few things, but they saw my capabilities and they keep giving me more work. And I'm like, it's getting kind of crazy because we're getting into the end of the year. And then of course we're getting into Christmas season. So I have 2 things ramping up, both the business and the job. So I'm balancing that. How do you balance that? One thing I will say is you have to, like I did, I allowed myself yesterday to do nothing. You have to allow yourself some time. Today I'm going to the chiropractor because I was hauling things on Friday night, and I need to take care of my spine and my back. And I am back to watching my diet because I was kind of went off the rails with some sugar and potatoes and stuff. And I could feel the inflammation starting in my body. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got to stop that stuff because that is poison to me. All things in moderation. It's not that I don't ever eat anything with sugar in it, but I really work to limit the amount of sugar that goes into my body on a daily basis because of the fact that it causes inflammation. Hey, look, I'm a white-haired chick. I don't want to be I want to be healthy and have energy, and I'm a go kind of person anyway. I don't want to be limited. And obviously I have some back and knee injuries from my time in the military, and I do my best to take care of those, which is why I want to drastically reduce the amount of pop-ups that I'm doing. It's driving me nuts with those. I'm grateful for those opportunities, but it does take a lot of time. So Wednesday. Oh, Rebecca, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'm excited for this opportunity that I was selected to do that. I did the interview with them, and they're like, okay, thank you. They asked me a couple questions. I think I had about 3 minutes to tell them about baskets of beads and what we were doing. And then they said thank you, and I kind of went away with no expectations. And when I got the email that said I'd been selected, I kind of responded with, knock me over with a feather. That's awesome. I'm so excited to have this kind of an opportunity. Like I mentioned at the beginning, most of these pitch type things, you have to run around and get votes. I don't have time to do that. That's not a good use of my time, and nobody has time for that in my sphere of things. So I really analyze what's a good use of my time. And let me tell you, this has been extensive because we've had 2 mandatory 2-hour phone calls every Tuesday and Thursday. And I am the Women Veterans Ministry leader at my veterans group at Saddleback Church. So Wednesday is Veterans Day, Veterans Ministry Day. And usually the weekend there's a pop-up. So it would be going to work and then going right. And then Monday I talk to my team. So right after work. So every day it's like I'm working 2 jobs. So Tuesday and Thursday, I've just been so exhausted doing these 2-hour calls twice a week. And I'm coming out on the other side of it. My presentation is ready. It's 6 slides. I have my points. I have everything that I'm going to say, and praying that I'm blessed with an award of some cash, which will greatly infuse what we're doing. Actually, right now I have invested in a consultant, so I need some funds to keep that going. She ran a campaign for us last year, and we got more online sales than we'd ever had in our online store, which was great. Wasn't like a significant amount compared to other people with online sales, but for us, it was like, wow, we got eyes on us, and we actually made some sales online. So we've re-engaged her to get us into some stores like Francesca's and Charming Charlie's, and even getting the loose beads into Hobby Lobby. There's another organization that has these kind of beads, so we're going to propose a different kind of bead for that. And then also upgrading our Shopify store to get it more SEO and Google friendly, where it would be kind of attracted and people's more eyes are on it. We've added a pop-up to and I really don't like those myself, but they work. So I've added a pop-up to the website. So if you have not been to the website lately, or if you're not signed up for the list, you go to the website, a little pop-up comes up, you get 10% off automatically. It'll send you a code. And a lot of people are using those. And of course, it's free shipping over $25. And then one of the other things we need to do is get our inventory system together. My inventory is kind of a mess in the warehouse. I actually need to invest in some proper inventory racks and storage to separate the beads out. I have them in a lot of bins, but I really need a racking system and then somebody to kind of manage that and to keep up with the inventory, because I don't have time for all that. So that's kind of what I'm going to ask for the funds to be used for. And I have it all scripted out to where it makes sense. And I have graphs and I have pictures and I have information. And I'm just excited. So appreciate your support and your continued support of baskets and beads. And, go get yourself a paper bead if you don't have one. This is something that everybody should have, because it shows sustainability. And all of our ladies make these. All of our ladies make paper beads. So that gives everybody the opportunity to make some more. When I was speaking, I would sell droves and droves of paper beads. And I had ordered, I think I've got several hundred paper beads, because I kept ordering them, because I kept selling them. Every time I was speaking at an event, I would probably sell 100 paper beads, 50 paper beads to people, because of that's what I had. And they were made in magazines, and a lot of people were interested in that. It's a lot different when you're not speaking live. But I do have paper beads, so get yourself some, get some for a gift. And Christmas is coming, so start planning for that. Everybody would like a gift. By the way, if you have a company and you do corporate gifts, I can't give you cheap tchotchke type things, but we can negotiate a fair and reasonable price for you to give your employees something like this. This would be something really nice for your employees to receive, a paper bead necklace or bracelet or something, some other type of product, maybe one of the baskets. But those make great corporate gifts as well if you invest in gifts for anybody on your team, or if you invest in thank you gifts. For me, when people buy baskets and beads and when they become a raving fan or they've ordered regularly, I have thank you gifts, or some of my customers, I have thank you gifts that I send my wholesale customers. And I send these wonderful brownies from Fairy Tale Brownies. By the way, I have verified that their chocolate that they get is fair trade type chocolate. It's not a certified fair trade item, but they do source from, they do know where who farms the cocoa, that the cacao, however you say that, the stuff that is used for chocolate. It's not done by slave labor. It's not done by child labor. It's done by an actual family in Belgium that manufactures that, and that's where they get their chocolate from. And I had to send them an email. I'm like, I'm a fair trade business. I need to know where you get your chocolate from. And they sent me the website with the information. So I have verified that. So I do take the time to verify where the products come from a lot of times. I mean, you can't do that with everything, but like I've said before, if you can start with one thing or two things that at least in your mind, you know where the supply chain goes from. I get a lot of questions about, oh, well, how much do they make, this and that and the other. I delete a lot of those off the ads, because really, if you want to ask me a question, because I did have somebody send me an email and ask me a question, they were interested, and I responded with the information, and they never got back to me any further. But I'm not going to respond to comments on social media where people haven't done any research into exactly what we're doing. All right, that's about it for today. I appreciate your support. I will be, I want to make just a quick before I wrap this up. So Fair Trade Friday, if you are on the email list, okay, Fair Trade Friday, we'll have our product of the week up. But if you are on the email list, you will have an opportunity to get a certain product that we select at a deeply discounted price. It may be something that we have a couple of and we just want to get those moved out so we can order some more with some new updated fabrics or whatever. But we will offer those to people on our email list. So go to basketsandbeadskenya.com, sign up for that pop-up, get 10% off of your first purchase, and then have the opportunity to see what products come out for Fair Trade Friday. So that is coming up starting this Friday, as a matter of fact. Okay. All right. Well, I am, by the way, one other thing for this, I didn't talk about the pitch. All right. I'm going to be in Missouri doing this because my job is sending me to Missouri to do a corporate initiative work. And I'm going to be there in a hotel room doing this pitch. This is how versatile of a person I am. I can speak anywhere. If you had to stick me in a corner somewhere where there's all kinds of stuff going on, and as long as I had the sound where people could hear me and not hear all the background noise, I would do it. I can speak anywhere. So I'm going to be doing that. That's going to be another challenge, but I'm very good at overcoming challenges, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, everybody, have a great day, and until I see you, Naku